This week on What the Heck, we find out what the heck's going on in Tyler's life, talk a couple of my favorite fall activities, and then check in on America's favorite degenerates with Florida Man of the Week. Crack a cold one, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of What the Heck. I'm Colin Frederick here with Jake Reese and Tyler Heck. Gentlemen, what's your favorite color?
Red.
Green.
Why? Don't shut up. You quiet over there. Tyler?
You know why his is green too. Why don't you tell him to shut up?
Somehow it's less offensive.
Really?
Wait,
the Packers
hold
are less offensive than
That's
the Badgers?
actually not even why I like green.
Yeah,
I don't. My favorite color green's not like the Green Bay Packer green. It's like a bright, like this.
That
on
is
the
good
Airheads
because that's kind of
color
a
green.
shit color.
No. it's
Whoever
a great
decided
color.
that those two colors should go together is poor taste.
Come on, it's not that bad.
I think the only combination that's worse in the NFL is the Browns.
Not the Dolphins.
I like that blue.
Yeah, it's not horrible. I think I still prefer that to the gross of the... Then again, also, I've spent my whole life just passionately hating that team, so that probably factors into it, I would imagine.
It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the colors, just that it's the Packers.
God dang. You guys thought I was going to ask how you were doing, didn't you?
Kind of.
I was, yeah, I had an answer for that question.
You thought you were going to ask how we were doing, and then you changed it up.
Hey.
You could tell.
A good pitcher
It's a hell of a curveball.
always keeps you off your front foot.
Give him the heater, Ricky.
So, how you guys doing? Bam, come right back with it.
Solid. I like that misdirection play. I'm doing great. The Bears are 3-0 and in first place.
And they got a new quarterback.
And they have a winning quarterback who can actually throw the ball.
Well, we'll see.
Wasn't it a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago I sat here saying Nick Foles was better?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Okay.
we
Nobody argued with
we
you.
just said that he won the competition.
No, that's dumb. He never should have won the competition.
I
But
agree.
also, and maybe you guys think differently. I didn't think Mitch was playing all that terribly well.
That interception was bad.
Okay, so the
And he
interception
was missing
bad.
receivers left and right.
But I feel like he wasn't getting a whole lot of time, and he wasn't getting a whole lot from his receivers.
I mean, one pick feels a little hasty. Granted, he'd not been good all season. However, he was good in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think
I
it
don't mind
looks
it.
worse than it is because they came back and won.
For sure.
Being down 15 or 16, whatever it was in the fourth quarter, if they don't come back, I don't think it's as big of a topic.
That's probably true.
Agreed.
But I do think Nick Foles should be the starter.
I thought that when they brought him in too. I
Right.
don't know why they were
The
going to bring
day-
him.
Well,
they
I
got
was
him.
pissed that they brought him in.
Correct.
Look at Cam Newton. I
I
cannot
agree.
handle Cam Newton as a human being.
Have you seen some of the workouts he was doing in
Have
the
you
offseason?
seen some of the clothing that he's worn?
Well, okay, that's
I
besides.
saw a
like,
meme.
that's why I
saw a
wouldn't want
meme
him.
that said he looked like a single mother working third shift who had to come into school because her kid got in a fight on the playground.
That's exactly.
But have you
What it
seen
is.
him with his shirt off? His physical specimen
watching?
body? No, you've seen, well, in the workouts. They
Yeah.
showed him
He
working
works out
out.
with his shirt off a lot.
He's
so you
freaking
guys
huge.
Are watching naked men then?
He's not naked.
not
he just
naked.
doesn't have a shirt on.
Okay.
He's wearing
doesn't-
shorts,
He
socks,
doesn't have the
shoes.
fashionable workout clothing like he does in
Okay,
the fashionable.
guys. No,
I
he's
just-
huge, and he is. I understand he's not been that good the last few years. This year he seems to be back to.
He's got way more upside than Nick Foles
correct
or Mitch Trubisky.
double
combined.
correct. Nick Foles is like the safe bet. I get it. He probably has a higher floor, but a lower ceiling.
Have you seen the little video
and he
meme?
looks like Napoleon Dynamite.
The little video meme of the guy walks out his front door with his pink suitcase and he's like towing it behind. He's wearing a Philadelphia jersey and his wife's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm going to Chicago." She's like, "What do you mean you're going to Chicago?" He's like, "I'm going to get my quarterback back. I'm going to get Foles."
I'm excited to see the Super Bowl rematch next week, Thursday night. Brady versus Foles.
That'll be interesting.
Could be a very different game.
You're not as excited about this Thursday's competition?
No.
I
Who
don't.
is it again? I don't remember.
It's the Broncos
How?
and the two
Yeah.
defeated
And
teams.
Let's look at the
The
first
Broncos
three.
and
Thursday night games we've had.
Jets, Broncos, Jets.
Broncos, Jets. Going to be
God,
a
they're
great.
terrible.
That's going to be a barn burner.
Sam Darnold is worse than everyone.
Oh my God!
It's going to be like watching JV football all over again.
Did you hear
no,
Dan?
we were good.
Dan Orlovsky came out and said his 0-16 Lions would beat the Jets 16 out of 16 times.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that's going to be. I might not watch that game. I did not watch this last Thursday.
I did not either.
who was that? The Battle of Ohio.
Yep.
That stink
Oh
fest.
no, I did watch that one. Wasn't this last one? Who did? Was that this last one?
I thought so
I
because
thought
that
so.
No,
was
that was
where-
last week because I watched that one. Wasn't this week?
that was last week
Jacksonville.
because
Oh, you're right. It
Joe-
was
Joe
Jacksonville,
Burrow-
Miami.
yes,
that's what it was.
Yeah, that game.
The battle for
sucked.
Florida.
I saw that one at Cruise for like 2 seconds and I was like, "This is terrible."
Change it. You can't change. Just turn it off.
Put tennis on. We're
That's
good to go.
Football stresses me out.
You know what though? It's glad to have this conversation versus the conversations we were having 4 or 5 months ago.
That's true.
What about the old Tennessee Titans getting shut down today?
That's really going to impact my fantasy team if they don't play. I can tell you that much.
Well,
Yeah,
It's-
but I claimed Jonnu Smith.
it's like 3 non-essential players to their team that tested
So they could
positive.
just kill him.
The only one was like their backup long snapper or something that
Oh.
has that actually does anything.
So
The
their
other 2 are
game
like
should
practice
go on.
squad guys. So the NFL came out and said today they're planning to play Sunday, and if they don't play Sunday, they're playing Monday.
Sweet.
All right.
So
Good because
They-
I need
but-
them.
they do have to stay shut down, I think, until
Wednesday?
what's today? I think until Thursday because they got retested today. Results will be back tomorrow.
Okay.
So I think they can go back Thursday, which is why they kept it Sunday, so they can still get 2 days of practice in. Which would suck, but
It's better than nothing, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Fantasy football's going on.
Fantasy football is great.
I don't want to talk
It
about
is
it.
going splendidly right now.
You guys are having a rocky disposition in fantasy. The What the Heck Fantasy League, aren't you?
Honestly, my team really came around this week, and I was all
Robbed.
friggin' day. I was shaped up to finally dethrone Moldy Leftovers, Mike Hack. And then for the second week in a row, he won on like the last drive of the game, and it's getting to be a little bit of bullshit. So that's a thing. He's still undefeated.
I'm not undefeated, but I am in first place in the division.
Well, it's
Ahead
all
of the
matter
superior
perspective.
race.
Yeah, but he's still better.
He
Two
did
and
beat me last week.
2 and
so-
1 teams. The Fearless Fibs lost.
Yeah.
Good.
Will's 2 and 1. Matt's 2 and 1. I'm 1 and 2, as is Ben the Robber Robers. Does anyone else besides me who doesn't know him call him that?
No.
As far as I know, no. But
Cool.
there could be someone else. out
Dig
there.
it.
Is there anybody who's not
Airport.
won a game?
Oh my god.
No, that can't be.
Let me zoom
Is that
in here.
possible?
Well, it seems that Deck is 0-3.
It's been a
Oh,
rough start
boy.
to the year.
Holy
I
crap.
got smacked this week too.
Yeah, wasn't even close.
What are you doing?
That by me. Smacked him upside the head.
I can't help that I have above average players and I go against guys that go off every week.
Well, and Zeke didn't help you.
Yeah.
this week.
I even thought about pulling him, but I don't know who I would put in place. Like, how do you pull him and not have someone to put?
Because
in?
the minute you pull him, he's going to go off for
Right.
28
Yeah,
points,
exactly.
too.
No, he just looked like shit this week. So, fantasy football's coming along. Still too early in the year to tell, but it is pretty much a huge clump and one.
Oh, you mean
undefeated
I'm
team.
not mathematically eliminated yet?
No. God,
Dang.
you're only one game back from the same place as most of everyone else.
All right, well, I don't feel so bad then.
Oh,
Except for
you're
Mike Heck.
Wow.
macaque.
If I could win on the last drive of Sunday night or Monday night football,
I'm getting pretty irritated. And I wasn't even watching last night, so I didn't see it until.
So you
like-
woke up all cranked off?
That's right.
what a
We-
great way to start it.
Man, we were watching Grey's Anatomy last night, and it was there was a season finale in there somewhere, and it was real emotional. A dog died. I don't know.
That really tugged at your heartstrings, didn't it?
Yeah, I was cleaning guns. I was pretty invested. That was my big project for the night. Took a couple hours and spent some quality time with the ladies.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
They do. My newest lady, I got an email today that she's in and ready to be brought to her new home.
And given some more TLC.
More TLC. I'll have to probably get the other ones back out that night and wash everything.
You don't want
again.
anybody to be jealous.
No, everybody needs a good rubbing once in a while. And with that, Tyler, what the heck?
All right, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this one tonight.
No,
I
please
think.
don't. I hate fun.
Well, that's too bad. You can sit out this one if you
No,
want.
I'm out.
I'm looking forward to fun.
If anyone wants to come over right now, and sit here.
There's a couple different ways I wanted to talk about this one, but I'm just gonna go with this. If you could have the talent of any famous person, could be a musician, could be a professional athlete,
Luke Combs.
could be a stand-up comedian.
He's not done yet. Don't interrupt him.
Who would it be,
Luke Combs.
and why
Because he can't miss.
would you pick them?
And because he looks like me, kind of.
That's true.
He's taller.
Probably true. I have a better beard, so he can suck it.
I don't know. His is pretty.
Have you seen him? That's the worst neck beard I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad. I think that's part of his MO though.
He's great. So great.
Would he be as popular if he didn't have the beard?
Yeah.
You think so? If he was,
I think that
if he was
people are
clean
just like-
shaven, you think he's as popular as he is now?
Yes.
He's old school, like his
He's-
sounding.
He's old school. And he just like seems like totally like a guy that wants to be a dude that wants to be a bro.
Like
Yeah,
he
like you
doesn't
could
care
just
that he's got
Flip the
millions of
tailgate
dollars.
down on the back of your beat up
Yeah.
F-150 from
No.
1997 and have a
never
few
mind.
beers with him.
If he drives a Ford, I take it back.
Well,
This is small town America, so we have to disagree about that kind of shit.
Luke, if you're out there, let us know what kind of truck you drive, or if anyone knows. I'm sure it's out there.
Probably
we could
is.
probably
Either
look
way,
it up in 5 seconds.
He can flip the tailgate down on the back of his blank truck and just have a beer and shoot the shit with him.
Why stop? He's probably had some road beers in his life.
But like also he was the first artist since Johnny Cash to have 5 songs in the top 20 at the same time or something crazy like
Yeah.
that. Like every single song he puts out is a hit.
That's legit.
And on a much smaller scale, I just think like it'd be rad to be able to play the guitar. And like if I could sit around
I thought you could play the guitar.
Not like him.
not really like anyone. I wouldn't say that I can play a guitar. I can kind of put my
You have a guitar that you put your fingers on and strum.
from time to time. But like I always just wanted to be, you know, how great it would be to be the guy that could sit around a campfire and just like be like, "Oh, okay, everybody. Oh, you'd like this song? Oh, you want this song from 30 years later from a different genre?
Yeah.
Fine, no problem." And then
And with
sing,
your love of
strum it
music and your ability to remember song lyrics,
Oh,
you would
man.
be kick ass.
I am
If I could-
0% surprised by your choice.
if I could play the guitar and sing better than a Kip and Debs level, I would be the happiest
You
man alive.
could be Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna surprise the heck out of both of you
What
with
the
my
heck?
choice.
Whitney
Justin
Houston.
Timberlake,
Oh,
I do.
JT.
Oh, he's very multidimensional.
He is super multidimensional. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fan of his in the boy band era. Much bigger fan when he went out on his own because he didn't sound like a boy band then.
yeah, he just sounded like a boy.
Yeah, just sounded like a young man.
with the band behind him now.
Yeah, and his movies are awesome. Like he's funny. Him and Jimmy Fallon, I love the skits they do together are hilarious. I just think, like you said, great. He's so multidimensional that man, if I could have his talents, like it would just be so much fun.
And he's married to Jessica Biel, who has a lot of
And
talent as
Yes, yes, very. That those kids are super multidimensional just because of mom and dad. It's just in their genes.
That is a
well.
very
Speaking
good
of
choice.
being in their genes, Jessica Biel is very talented.
Let's wait to see where that was going.
That is a very good one. I
Remember her on 7th Heaven?
yes.
I think she was like
It's heaven.
19, but hey,
So,
same, you know?
I would go with the Angus Young from AC/DC
Oh.
for the same reason you kind of brought up, that I would just love to be able to play the guitar.
Yeah.
I bet
But-
you JT plays the guitar.
He probably does, and he dances and he does everything.
Yeah, it's
He
dance
is
moves.
his own boy band.
I am not one who's fleet of foot, so let me just tell you that. That's probably what I look up to the most, is just the way he moves, and he's pretty impressive.
JT. I once was like 8 feet away from him at a concert in the VIP section, but I was more jealous of the little family that was sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor eating pizza.
You just wanted a piece of pizza?
It seemed like they were having a nice family bonding time. But no, unbelievable. Like live and close. So great.
It doesn't put you off that he's a Packers fan?
I think that's just a front.
I don't. Why would that?
Because
out of all the
they're
things,
winning
why-
team. They're Aaron Rodgers. Like,
He's told the story. You gotta look
Honestly, like if I just hated everyone that was a Packer fan, it'd be hard to have friends around
it
here.
up.
this podcast
You-
probably wouldn't exist
Well,
Well.
it would.
with the different name.
It would
and you and me.
Be like,
New
Colin
logo.
and Jake talk about stuff.
Well, shit happens. Sorry.
And maybe we'd call it Shit Happens. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one. That could be a good spin-off.
No, I'm not put off that he's a Packers fan.
No.
I can let we all have little misguided errors
That's
in
right.
our life.
Everybody has flaws.
Yep.
I mean,
I
you
can
guys
let
do
that
hang
one
out with me,
slide.
so I guess it doesn't surprise me there either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm interested. It's curious to me that we all went to like
Musicians.
performers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like musicians, but they put on
Yeah.
a show. Like they're more than just a guitarist and just a member of a boy band, and, or an actor, or a philanthropist, or literally anything that he does either.
Uh-huh.
But they add
Or
like,
Jessica
they
Biel's
have
husband.
something. Well, that's probably number one. On
Have
the
you
list.
guys seen Seventh Heaven?
I think that might get added to the shows I need to watch.
Yeah.
It's got to be out somewhere, right?
I'm sure you can find it. It's
It's probably
probably
on Netflix.
No,
or
I bet it's on
Hulu.
if you
or
watch it, if you stay up probably late enough, it's on like Uplift channel. That seems like one of those shows.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna have to look for that.
Man,
That was a decent show. I didn't watch all of it.
I didn't watch all of it either, but
As a kid, it was
it was
always
a little
on,
before my time. Yeah.
like after school. Like you get home and sometimes that was on, and if you didn't like the episode of whatever else was on, you just threw on Seventh Heaven.
I kind of remember the little theme song
Stop
being
it.
real ditty, like being like real kind of like a little bop.
Like it was probably sung by Justin Timberlake.
It might have been, could have been.
He'd have been in Mickey Mouse Club back then.
Oh, probably.
No,
No, it was after that.
I'm trying to think how it goes.
I can kind of hear it, and I can even see like bits and pieces of the.
Yeah, like the
Intro
little
to it?
deal.
But
All
we're
right,
gonna have
well,
to find that.
maybe tonight before this episode actually is released this weekend, I'll post the Seventh Heaven theme song on Facebook, and everyone will be like,
No
What the heck does
context.
that mean?
"Why
Don't-
did you do that?"
Just post it.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no
not going to
context
caption
to
it at all, and we'll see what people say. Maybe somebody will be like, "Oh yeah, great show."
Here's a good insight into what we're talking about.
Sneak peek of this week's episode.
Oh.
Oh man, stuff we like besides Jessica Biel is hunting and footballing.
Sports balling in general.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I was thinking about things I like to do in the fall, and these are two things that really stick out in my mind. That being tailgating and deer camp. Which, deer camp, did we talk before about how that was actually a lesson in one of my classes in college?
You
Yes.
did, yeah.
That's so great. Everyone should take that class.
Is it offered online right now? It's gotta
Probably.
be.
Yeah, it might be.
I'm gonna find it.
Professor was kind of a weird guy, but, you know.
Worth it.
I think to teach that class, you gotta have a little,
A little weird in
He
here.
was like
a
kind
little
of
off kilter.
he's like kind of a dork, and he's like, "All right, you go to deer camp. There might even be some adult beverages." And I'm like,
Oh.
"Stop it!
So that kind of weird.
You're talking to a bunch of 22-year-olds that are in your class.
They're
to just
well aware of
waste
adult
them,
beverages.
just to
Who
totally blow off a few credits."
Probably been doing this at deer camp since
Okay.
middle school.
It deer camp is well, first, I guess I should say, I just wanted to, like, talk about these two things a little bit, maybe compare and contrast the two of them, find some similarities, and then just talk about why they're both great. And even though we're not really doing any tailgating this year, deer camp is quickly approaching. First, you two have experienced, well, I guess both because you're old.
Nice, thank you.
I'm not that old yet.
I was going to say you've done both of these things much longer than me. But deer camp especially, I am a rookie. So I'm curious to hear some of like your experiences and insights there, as I have less experience. So I guess let's start there. Tell me about your deer camp experiences.
So, my deer camp is probably not like the typical deer camp. I guess like you hear stories of or think about. We always go up to where my parents are from, and when we were growing up, we always stayed at Grandma and Grandpa's house or another uncle's house. Now my cousin has a cabin that he doesn't use during that time, so we stay there.
Feels like a weird time to not use cabin.
He's on his other hunting land that he's got, so
I'll allow it.
yeah. He doesn't go where we go. He bought some land in a different place that he stays,
And
but
doesn't share with you.
yep, nope, he doesn't share.
He shares the cabin on the bad
Yep.
hunting land.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
you
shares
guys
the cabin.
just go here.
You guys
It's
just go here.
great.
It's- You hunt county land with the rest of the schmucks. But my best memories, I had two uncles that owned bowling alley in the small town, like Sharon Small.
What an excellent
I know.
excellent town.
That's why I had to use that, so you got the excellent impression of
I'm
the
feeling
small
it.
town America.
I'm digging it.
And so my one uncle owned it, then he sold it to my other uncle, and it had there was like a house attached to the bowling alley. So as we got older, that became awesome because then, my uncle would be like, "Oh, bowling alley's closed. Turn all the lights off," and then we'd go around the corner, and he'd be like, "Just whatever you guys want to do, just make sure you lock up when you're done." So we'd play euchre and stay out till way past we should have been staying out, and the beer was free, so that was awesome. We just throw a few bucks on the bar counter to cover it. Usually it didn't cover it, but we just threw some money out to make ourselves feel better.
I was gonna say that's really the reason.
But yeah, so that was great staying there. It's kind of changed as I gotten older. Last year was the first year I took my son, so the deer camp experience is a little different when you're responsible for another soul other than just yourself. So, but it was still fun. I mean, doing all the things that we do at deer camp, from setting up stands to getting up early to all that stuff, the actual hunting stuff was fun. And then I had to have a extra pocket full of quarters and single dollar bills so he could go play pool and darts and whatever with his cousins. So that was,
Luckily, you're usually heavy on singles up north anyway.
yes, definitely
No, that's at Escanaba.
different. Yeah, we go northwest, not northeast.
Esky.
But yeah, so we didn't stay in a camp or anything like that. We don't hang our clothes outside overnight to let the scent of the cabin get out of them. Like, then you got to put them on and it's cold. So I'd never have gotten into that boat. But yeah, it's always nice too because deer camp is always the week before my birthday. So as a kid growing up, going up for deer hunting, my grandma had 27 grandchildren. Yeah, crazy big family on the east side.
Kind of too many.
And everybody, even when we got married, our wives were included in it. You got a birthday card with a dollar bill in it. So that was my time. Like, I knew going up for hunting, like, all right, we're going to stay at my uncle's bowling alley. Like, grandma's going to give me $1. Like, I can do whatever I want with that dollar. Like, it was pretty awesome when you're a 12-year-old.
That was a simpler time.
Yeah, much simpler. That dollar went a lot further back then than it does now, too. Not even sure you could do anything at that bowling alley with a dollar right now.
Maybe play half a game of pool.
You
That's
might.
about it.
Maybe.
Some darts.
But
Deer camp for me has changed a little bit in the past. So when I first started hunting, we went up to Tigerton and hunted some lumber company land up there, and it was amazing. Like, there were deer all the time. That's
Were
where
they
I fought.
tigers
I
or-
shot my no. That's what the high school mascot is, I believe. But
The Tigerton Tigers.
I think
Go
so, I don't remember.
Tigers.
So we would stay in Clintonville actually for that one. It was maybe a 20, 25-minute drive out to the land from the hotel, and then went and switched when the lumber company sold it and it became private land. We went to Wisconsin Rapids, hunted up that way, and now we're hunting up in Neilsville near my sister. And we stay. When we started doing that, we started finding Airbnb like cabins. So the atmosphere's kind of changed because we used to have a group of like 13, 14 guys, so we'd have 4 or 5 hotel rooms, and we'd all have to try and like pack into one, or we'd like go out a little bit longer and just hang out. And now that we're in the cabin, usually it's like leave, go get dinner, and then just come back and hang out at the cabin. So that's how we do it now. I've brought up how me and my cousins have kind of made it a yearly tradition to do the old NFL Monopoly the night before to kind of hopefully bring some good luck, and hasn't worked so far yet, but you know, it's early in the career up in this area. So I think some of my, I guess, like favorite things to do is honestly just listen to some of the older guys' stories. Like
Yeah, totally.
I know every single one of my grandpa's hunting stories, and he tells them all the time, even not at deer camp.
You can probably tell him as good
But-
as he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still like just as fun hearing it now as it was as a 12-year-old kid the first time hearing it, and hearing all the other guys just, I remember back in whatever year we pulled up 5 bucks of this woods and all this stuff and all the crazy stories that they have. And I just honestly, like at dinner, it's just kind of sit back and take it all in, even though I know like there's almost a specific order to how the stories go. Like something is brought up, or
just
someone
like my
is brought
dad.
up, and then it's like, oh yeah, and then we got this story, and so you kind of have it down after a while. But
That does
that's
sound
like one
your
of my
dad.
favorite.
I've not spent
parts.
that much time with your
Yeah.
dad.
Like, you can even tell when he starts. Hey, did I ever tell you? Yep, you did.
Yep.
Well, let me finish telling you.
Surely I didn't.
We
Tell
go to
you.
this bar
I told it
now.
wrong.
We go to this bar in the small town of Augusta called Buddha's. So my cousin's cabin that we stay at, it's his best friend from high school bought this bar, and it's like the bar in Augusta now. Like all the hunters and people go there, and he has like a buck pool, and so you get into that. But they have like pretty kick-ass food there too, so it's awesome. But we probably hit that like 3 or 4 times, and I think you're right. Like after opening day, coming back to that bar in the evening, you like hear everybody's stories about what they saw and what they heard, and this guy got this, and the guy who gets a big buck parks right in front of the door with a tailgate open and the big buck hanging out. So then everybody's got to leave the bar to go out at the same time to see it. So yeah, I like the stories too. I think those are, really priceless when it comes down to it.
I dig it. These are all the things that like I'm so jealous of. I mean, we've talked about my rough childhood and how I'd never had Rock'em Sock'em robots. But my family's like just not hunters. And so I never really even gave it a second thought. And then like in college, I decided I wanted to get into it. And it was at that time I discovered it's a hard thing to get into when you don't have someone like, here, son, hold this thing and point it over at that critter.
Or here, buddy, let me help you out.
Exactly. So I kind of jumped in. I bought a rifle when I was working at Dick's when I was in school, and still haven't shot anything with that rifle.
Except targets.
Except targets, yeah. And I'm getting into different things. Then I bought a dog because I was going to be a bird guy and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. And, like, genuinely, I hope so much that I am able to do all that stuff. But at the moment, I don't really know anything about anything. So other than my bear experience, which was
pretty awesome.
super cool.
But super crazy. Like, I'm not sure I could do what you did. Like, running around in the dark chasing after a bear. You don't know where he's going to be.
Hey, what's the worst that could happen, you know?
He kills you.
Perfect.
That picture
We've
that
talked
you
about-
sent us.
Oh, yeah. The guy with the
The
missing
guy whose
face.
face
Not
was
that you
eaten off.
die, that you get attacked,
And
And you
just
live
bad enough, and
without
then
a
you have to
face.
live, yeah, well, half.
It's
Fourth
fine.
of a
Everything's fine. the last couple of years, I went hunting with my buddy Kevin, whose wife we've talked about as our number one fan.
Yep.
So he's got a place, which actually, and it was totally funny how it came up. He and I were working at the same place, also when I was in school, like my senior year. And I had shot my bear and then came in and was working the next week. And he's like, oh, so asking me about it and whatever, and asked me where I shot it. And I was like, oh, it's just this total, like, BFE town, Ogama. And he's like, oh, no shit, my cabin's by Ogama. And I was like, what? And it turned out that his cabin's like 20 minutes away from where I shot my bear, which was like just the
Nice.
craziest coincidence. So the last couple of years I've been going up with him, and the first year was the two of us and his one cousin, and the last year was just the two of us. And it's fun. I haven't seen, well, I saw 2 does last year, and I, A, didn't have a tag, and B, wouldn't have had a shot even if I had a tag. But, so it's not been super productive in that regard, but, like, it's been fun getting, like, a little mini deer camp experience just with him. But I have this thing where I'm, like, weirdly hung up on the future all the time. I'm a planner, and I'm, like, always looking ahead. Gail August always said, like, when you're in high school, you couldn't wait to be in college. And when you were in college, you couldn't wait to be out of college. And when you had a job, then you couldn't wait to get married and have kids. And, like, I'm always, like, looking at the next step, which sometimes is bad because I tend to not stop and smell the roses very well.
Yeah.
But, like, my huge thing in my head is, like, my ultimate goal is to have a cabin and lots of land, and then, like, to teach my kids how to hunt so that they're not in the same predicament someday.
I'm there. I'm actually looking for hunting land as we speak.
So, like, that is, like, my number one thing. You know, I've talked a little about, like, with buddies about, like, splitting it and whatever. You know, maybe we can get a place together. And I'm like, I'm so, like, hung up on, like, family traditions and heritage that, like, I'm like, I don't know.
What about one of your brothers?
Neither of them have any interest.
Oh, really? My brother and I are looking, not the superior race, the other brother and I are looking for some land. The superior race maybe go in on it, but we have just said we're done doing the county land, fight for stand, walk 17 miles.
I don't know. I would like to purchase and then share with anyone at any point. Like, that's not at all my issue. It's just like, I want to know that when me and CJ want to go up for a weekend.
What about your daughters? You're not going to let them hunt?
No, I don't have
Christina
daughters.
Joe, is that what you're calling me?
No, Colin Jr.
Oh, sorry.
God. And it's a boy, not Colleen either. When me and Colin Jr. are going to go up north, like, we can go to a place for sure, and, you know, we'll always have that, like, oh, we're going up to the cabin, and then we can kind of have those deer camp traditions, which, like I said, you know, if I can talk my dad into coming up even though he's not a hunter, or, like, you guys or Jeters or whoever, but, like, that's my, like, number one thing. So all of my deer camp memories are
Recent.
well, I was going to
Still
say
being developed.
still to come. Probably have more experience in the tailgating game, however, but even there, I think I would defer to you two because probably much less than you because, you know,
Because I'm old?
you're old.
Yep. I knew that's where that was going.
Most of my tailgating has been, and I think we've kind of discussed it on here in the past as well, is like, oh, somebody's got the doohickey, and you put the table out in the parking garage, and you eat half your sandwich before the game, and then you come out, and you have to be the last one out of the stadium, and then you eat the other half of the sandwich, and it's cold and soggy, and the old guys want you to eat food you don't want to eat. And so that's been most of my
I did that
tailgating.
once. It was awesome.
That's been some of it. We did more when Travis was in college because we pretty much went to every game then. And that was fun. But I guess I did a little in college, but we've talked about how my college days were less wild than you'd like to have. So I think that I've probably missed the boat on tailgating as well. Though I'm not dead yet, so I could probably still switch her around.
Yeah, I love tailgating. We are season ticket holders for Badger football,
That's kind of a dumb
which is
investment.
awesome.
Sounds horrible.
And so a buddy of mine that I went to school with, actually went to high school and college with.
Oh, so he has poor taste as well.
No, he's awesome. He turned me on to this really small ticket broker where you could buy parking spaces up in Madison. I think you, Tyler's been up there where we tailgate. And
That's weird. I don't think I've ever been invited.
you're a gopher, man. You don't want to go. You trash nothing more than just trash.
It's so interesting.
I don't ever ask my friends to take me to Packer games.
I went
That
to a
have
Packer
tickets?
game once. It was fine.
Yeah, right.
Was it against the Cowboys?
No, it wasn't.
Was
I
it
just
against the
liked-
Bears?
No, my uncle just had a ticket and was like, "Dude, you want to go?" And I was like, "Sure."
Huh,
So
well,
there you go. At least he likes me.
okay, well, we'll see. Anyway, this small ticket broker where you can buy the parking spaces, because otherwise you got to give an arm and a leg to the university to get these spots. So we get them off a secondary market, basically. And I don't know. My tailgates are different. Like some guys,
That's
like
because you're old.
they bring their grill and they do this huge thing. Whereas like I'd rather have, music, bags, and like cold cut sandwiches and like chips and like I don't need a grill. Like it's messy and the cleanup's messy and storage and all that stuff. Like I'm trying to keep it simple when we tailgate. Have some beers, throw some bags, listen to some good tunes, and then go in and watch a Badger victory.
I don't mind the grill thing. I think where I probably draw the line is like couches and TVs.
Yeah.
That's
Although there's a group of us that have said you get those like enclosed trailers. We've seen a few at tailgates where like guys open them up and they're like, it's like a small living room, or like the side opens up and there's like a 50-inch flat screen and like a cooler that pulls out and a mini bar. And we're like, you know what? Wonder how much it would take for a number of guys to go in on that investment and take it to tailgate games.
20 grand.
No, we priced it out. It would be less. Like we could get, I forget what, I think we were looking at, we thought we could do the whole shebang for between 8 and 10 grand. With a used trailer, of course, not
I
buying
was gonna
brand new.
say. I was like,
Yeah, no, we
that thing's either tiny or
either that or I'm sure you've seen when you go to different tailgates the guys that take the old like school buses and turn them into
Yeah.
like mini like camper, like tailgate campers.
like an old school RV type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from like the 60s and 70s and like repaint it and refurbish it. Like that would be the ultimate tailgate vehicle too.
Yeah.
But I also love we go to Brewers games with a bunch of people every year. Unfortunately not this year, and we usually have, 3 to 4 cars of people that go up and tailgate and we have
That's
a
so
good
weird. I
spread.
don't think
and
I've ever been in one of those cars either.
I'm old. You've been a minor for most of that time.
Hey, if anyone out there wants to be friends, just what the heck
I'll
pod at
I'll
gmail.com.
tailgate with you at Brewer games.
Good. All right, Tyler and I are going. Young guys only.
What's
yeah.
the cutoff? Because Tyler's old.
1 year older than Tyler.
Nice. For the rest of my life.
Yep, permanently.
Yes.
It's a sliding scale.
Yeah, well. So, anyway, back to the Brewers games. Those are fun too because I'm a fair weather tailgater. Like literally, I don't like tailgating when it's like cold and freezing out. So you tend to get better opportunities of tailgate with winter or with summertime and baseball. So I don't know. That makes a difference. Plus Miller Park, I know you guys have both been there, so I don't have to say much about.
Sorry,
Just
it's
the
actually
open space.
American Family Stadium.
No,
ball
it'll
field.
always be Miller Park.
No, it won't. No,
To me, it will
literally,
be.
it's in-
Didn't
nope.
the sign actually already come on?
In my heart, it will always be,
Well.
and that's all that matters to me.
That's cute.
Thank you.
A haiku by Jacob Reese. Hold on. In case any of you are smartasses, I understand that was not a haiku. Like, I get it.
Dude, I'm a math teacher. I
Yeah.
don't care. Maybe
Do you
my
think
mom.
I could have got away with it?
Yes.
my
If you
mom
wouldn't have
will
said
say
that,
something now, but
No,
it would have slid right on through because
Yeah.
98% of the people out there are like, oh, haiku, that's a funny one.
or
No,
they
no.
don't know what a haiku.
I was doing a bit, but I'm just telling you, I understand that is not a haiku. I'll have one prepared for next week.
So my tailgate experiences, honestly, most of them have been at Miller Park.
Because you can't tailgate at Wrigley. It's dumb.
Oh, I have.
What?
The way you tailgate, I can do. Don't take a grill. get some sandwiches, have some chips. I tailgated Wrigley Field for an AC/DC concert.
Where?
Right across the street behind a
Behind a
mechanic
dumpster?
shop.
Oh, I know where that mechanic shop is.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not quite the same.
No, it's not. Like honestly, we didn't even take chairs. You just kind of sat in the trunk of the car. You hung out, listened to some music. But
Yeah, Miller Park, you play catch with the little
Yeah.
kid whose football rolls into your tailgate.
you got the sausages running
Yeah.
around. Like it's a completely different atmosphere. But I mean, that's what I've done the most because growing up around here, that's the closest thing, and tickets are fairly cheap. Like for baseball,
Yeah,
I don't
really
need
reasonable.
very good seats.
Right.
Like I'll sit nosebleeds all the way up, and be totally fine. So we did that a lot in high school and college. Not much the last couple years, just because now everyone's kind of more spread out and everything. We try to go to maybe one game a year and do it, especially because one of my friends' wives, her parents live like right in that area. It's like a 5-minute drive
Oh,
from their
nice.
house, so we'll actually just kind of hang out at their place until an hour before the game. Parents will drop us off and then come pick us up after the game's over. Or I think one time we walked back, hit a couple bars on the way home. But then, yeah, like I've gone with you to a Badger game. I went to the Bears game once with you guys.
Yeah.
And it's all, like, it's different everywhere, but it's not different everywhere. Like, it's a different, like, the Bears game was probably the most different for me.
That's because it's probably cool
And,
fun.
no, well,
And everyone wasn't wearing ugly things.
I don't know. There was a lot of,
It was awesome.
yeah, it was really awesome because we left at the third quarter because they were up by
They're
45.
kicking the crap out of them.
But yeah, like it's fun. I love to tailgate. I tailgate, like I would tailgate in people's backyard.
We
and
did
call it tailgating.
recently.
Like to me, that's a tailgate. Like you don't have to go somewhere.
We're going to do that this
tailgate.
fall.
Well, we already
Yeah.
did it, and you skipped.
No, we're going to do it when the Big Ten starts playing football. We're going to have a tailgate and watch a football game
On
with
the
a
porch.
TV in the driveway
Oh.
while we tailgate. And
Yeah.
you guys are going to be invited.
Bet.
If not, we'll just
Yeah.
do it here again.
We'll do it here. It's fine. We got it worked out.
Can I add to Tyler's Bears tailgate story? Because it's a pretty funny story.
It's a great story.
Yes.
So if you've ever ridden in Tyler's sweet wheels,
Yeah.
you know his passenger's window doesn't work.
I thought it was. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I told you that.
So I called shotgun, right? We rode down to Chicago. We went with two buddies, Corey Berg, Stan Livingston. And so we drive it all the way down there. Well, we get down there, and, like, I got the parking ticket, and we're trying to figure out where to park in the the lot we were in. And I roll my window down to talk to the attendant guy, and,
Don't ever
like,
do that.
Tyler doesn't say anything, so I didn't know any different. And he, like, oh, you can park over here, or you can go up top where this cooler area up there. So we go up there, and, like, awesome. Well, the window doesn't roll back up. So we're like, well, let's tailgate and have a good time. We'll worry about it later. So we worry about it later when it's time to go into the game, and the window still won't roll up. So we proceed to take a sweatshirt and, like, kind of lock the doors and, like, duct tape the sweatshirt over this over the window that won't roll up. And then, like, we even asked this, like, one of the parking guys, like, hey, you gonna be here all game? And you keep an eye. And we told him, he's like, oh man, sorry, I'm leaving, like, pretty soon. We're like, well, the only option is to stay out here and miss the game, or to go into the game and hope they don't steal everything in the car. So, of course, we went into the game and
Oh,
hope
yeah.
they didn't steal everything in
Full
the car.
send.
So, in the third quarter, when the Bears were kicking the crap out of them and some bad weather started rolling in, we're like, let's get out of here. This game's over with. As we're heading back to the car,
They stole the passenger seat.
nope, Stan and Corey both call backseat because they know that it's starting to rain, and now we got to drive home on the interstate.
That might be the
in
only time I've
rain.
ever heard two people going to the same car call backseat, not shotgun.
So we're like, I'm in the front, like, well, it's gonna be a long 75-mile-an-hour ride home on 94 in the rain.
50-degree sleet.
So I said one more prayer to the man up above and hit the window button, and whoop, the window rolled up, like as we're leaving the parking garage.
Quick, don't touch it.
I was so thankful. I think Tyler's had that window lock on ever since that day.
It's come off one time. Actually, it comes off often because I roll the window behind me down, and I can't roll it down without that button off. I only ever do it when there's no one else in the car with me. Or, like, if someone's going to get in the car, I do it real fast. so I can.
Oh my god!
Yeah. But I think
If any of you want to start a GoFundMe for polished windows,
I don't ever roll that window down. When I roll my windows down, it's my side, both sides. So I've never had the need to. But I've thought about that story because it is funny to me that happened because it's my car, but I don't have to sit by that window. But I think that was God's way of punishing me for going to a Chicago Bears game as a Packers fan, and the Packers weren't playing.
hey, roll Bears, man.
Yeah, that's not what they say. Isn't it Roll Tide?
No, I swore it was roll Bears.
I think it is.
We can talk about deer camp some more, but we can probably talk about that more when hunting camp or hunting season actually rolls around.
Oh yeah.
So first, I'd like to read you a haiku,
Did you write this?
Yeah.
Awesome.
and then we can move on to bigger and better things like Florida Man. But first, we have a podcast. It is called What the Heck, Yo? Tell all your friends, please. By Colin Frederick.
That just about brought me to tears.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's it.
It's deep. Really deep.
So now I dare you to come at me and tell me about haikus, please. The bullies. Even though no one bullied me, I'm very defensive about it. Because I know I would have been bullied.
Not me. I'm not a bully.
Sometimes. I have a friend that pronounces it bully. Don't be a bully.
Who is that so we can bully them?
Tim Jim.
Oh, never mind.
See?
I won't bully him.
Guys, we haven't been to Florida in a while.
I can't wait.
Gosh, it's going to be amazing.
I printed out 6 because I just kept finding good ones.
Ooh.
Do I see that one is on the
Hey.
backside?
They're all on the backside.
Oh, man. These are going to be good.
That's because they
I
have.
won't read
They have a
them.
lot to live up to. We've had some pretty good creepy
We've had some good
Craigslist the
ones.
last couple times,
I
too.
know, I know. We're going to pick 2 of these to move on to the bracket, which I think we now have 8 by the time we're done with this shenanigans we were figuring out.
Halfway there.
Halfway to a bracket.
We got to get working.
Number 1. A Florida man impersonates FBI agent, harasses homeowner, leaves live catfish on driveway, flees on bicycle.
Everything was fine except for the leaves
Here's-
live
Oh my
catfish on the
gosh.
driveway.
Here's a photo for your reference of a mugshot and some catfish.
Are those like the catfish that they left, or is that just a
I think
stock
that's just
photo?
stock photo.
Like people don't know what catfish look like, or
He's 42 and faces charges of open container in a public area and impersonating a law enforcement officer. So they probably originally just wanted him for drinking a beer in public. And then he's like, oh no, I'm an FBI agent. And then yelled at a guy, threw some catfish in the driveway, and took off on
I
a
want
bike.
to know how the catfish came into
where
play.
did he get the catfish?
Like, did he just have it in his cooler with his beer that he was drinking out of? Like, maybe he just went fishing and he had a few
He-
beers left and he threw the catfish in the beer cooler.
Instead of FBI, he should have went with DNR.
Yeah.
The victim says the Florida man drove a bicycle with flashing red and blue lights onto her front yard. He then introduced himself as an FBI agent and ordered the woman to present him with identification to prove she lived there legally. When the victim told him to leave, he refused. The victim then told the husband to call the cops, and the guy took off on his bike, but before leaving dropped multiple live catfish in the driveway for, quote, an unknown reason.
Okay, he's on a bicycle, but he
With red and blues on his bicycle?
right. But where did he get the catfish on a bicycle?
That are still alive.
Like,
Does he have a cooler?
Is there
Yeah,
just a
live well
little-
on the back of his bike?
What is going on in Florida?
Florida's a cool place.
That's awesome.
And this guy, I can't wait to show you this picture in a second. Florida man sprays neighbors with bug spray, hits himself in the head with nunchucks.
Oh, yeah, he looks like a
right in the
nunchuck expert. His eyes swollen shut.
I love another stock photo of nunchucks, just for the record.
In case anybody didn't know what they look like.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, man. He was complaining about his neighbor's loud music in their Daytona apartment complex. So he went over there to tell him to shut up and took with him bug spray and a pair of nunchucks.
Oh man, I need those for my classroom now.
And bug spray.
Oh yeah, both of them. Probably the bug spray more.
He was
than
charged with aggravated assault and battery with a deadly weapon, even though he only hit himself with the nunchucks.
Well,
That's adding insult to injury right there.
I dig it. Shoplifting Florida man flees store, strips naked as steaks fall out of his pants.
Had to lose the evidence.
God, this reminds me of Jameis Winston.
oh,
The crab
God.
legs. The manager of the Safe Lot confronted him when he and other store patrons saw him stuffing meat into his pants. He tried to restrain the guy, but he wriggled free, ran out of the store, and began taking off his clothes, leaving a trail of steaks. Oh, here's him. He looks less Florida-y than the rest of them, I suppose.
Yeah, he
Stock
looks-
photos of steaks. That makes the
This
story
is what
better, too.
steaks
That's
look
so
like.
legitimate. Come on.
This one might be about Jake on his vacation.
Which one?
What?
Which vacation?
When he was in Florida.
Oh.
I'm thinking this might be him. Florida man breaks into home. Sucks on sleeping man's toes.
Wow.
It happened on Christmas Eve. Oh, Santa.
Wow.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
If that's what Santa does, I don't want him coming to my place.
What? It was Christmas Eve. The resident woke up to a man at his feet who then proclaimed that he broke into the home to suck toes. Then he attempted to fondle the man. This is just a stock photo of some feet.
In case you didn't know what toes look like.
Oh my gosh.
They got in a fight. The man smashed a window and the victim's windshield before making an escape. He's still at large. If anyone tries sucking your toes, call the Florida
That's
police.
scary. He's still at large.
This one, speaking of large, this story is about a large man, and his mugshot is so large that it took up the whole first page.
What?
Oh my gosh.
So they made him look bigger on that. That's
It did. Oh no! Did it cut off my? Oh no! I got it. 380-pound Florida man hides meth in belly button.
Either that was a huge belly button or he didn't hide that much meth.
A Florida man. This is a real news article. A Florida man used his excess bulk to stow away a bag of meth. Oh, Martin. He showed up at a McDonald's with a drug-filled needle. And then, after they arrested him for that and searched him, they found a whole bunch.
It just made him wiggle and it started to fall out or what?
When he was processed into the jail, a small bag of meth was found, quote, wedged deep within the belly button cavity. Quote, I was just being dumb and not thinking, the guy said. The belly button meth stash resulted in 2 additional felony charges.
holy cow.
I'm moving to Florida. Nearly naked Florida man breaks into school, smears feces and cake frosting everywhere. Stock photo.
Stock photo of Funfetti, vanilla.
Pillsbury.
Oh my
Frosting.
gosh.
He was arrested after deputies say he broke into a school, spreading feces and cake all over the place. Surveillance footage showed the man jumping a fence at 2 a.m., and then deputies found desk, chairs, and drawers of a classroom covered in cake frosting. There was also a trail of frosting-covered footprints on the floor. There's an open can of frosting in the trash alongside a child's sweatshirt that was covered in both frosting and feces. There was also... what? Not sure. It cut off some words. A stapler was found to be placed inside a toilet, and a feces frosting-covered TV remote was in the bathroom. I don't know what's wrong with this. Outside the school, deputies discovered a laptop in the trash and a soiled pair of underwear hanging from a building. They recognized the Florida... People inside the school said they recognized the man from previous incidents in the school.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
What if... I don't know. Maybe he just had a real bad reaction to frosting.
Maybe he went to school there in his younger days and has a vendetta against him.
How many cans of frosting does it take to cover all that stuff and leave a frosting footprint trail?
Right? That's a lot of frosting.
Yeah,
and they
you
said
got
they
like a
only found one
backpack full of
container.
frosting.
Yeah, maybe he had like 12, cans of frosting, and then what was he using to smear them with?
You can smear it with your fingers.
Apparently his feet.
Why was he pooping everywhere?
Well, he
got
soiled
nervous.
himself.
He had the runs. He got nervous.
These are the questions I have.
Oh.
Florida.
The meth belly button reminds me of a funny story of my coaching days.
You stored meth in your belly
No.
button?
So Garrett Carey was wrestling at the
stored
state
meth in his
tournament.
belly
No,
button?
let me finish. He was wrestling at the state tournament and went into the shower to shower up, and we were like, hurry up, we'll wait for you upstairs. And there was another heavyweight from Division III that he knew from like his younger days. And it's just the two of them so when people shower, they're naked.
Wait.
No, this is the good part. He's in the shower, and this other guy walks in. He's like, "Hey," and Garrett, like, "Whatever, dude. I'm naked. I just lost. I'm not happy." So he wasn't talking to him. And so they're showering, and like after like 2 minutes, the guy's like, "You want to chew?" And Garrett's like, "I said no, but at the same time, I wondered." Where did he get the chew from? Because he wasn't carrying a chew when he came into the shower. So we're thinking he had a tin of chew stored under a flap somewhere and just pulled it out for a chew in the shower.
Honestly, that was kind of the way that I went about wrestling. Was I always had a tin of chew between my butt cheeks.
Awesome.
I found it kept me spry.
Yeah, that keep you on your toes.
Yep.
Light at feet.
Yeah. So anyway, totally. Yeah.
I'm
so
voting for the catfish guy on the bike with the red and blues going.
I dig him. I also dig his mugshot.
And I think I got to vote for the frosting and feces guy at the end. He really he tops it for me.
Just like frosting and feces.
I too am going FBI catfish, but my second vote is cocaine belly button or meth belly button.
Catfish moves on to the finals.
Catfish moves on for sure. My second choice, I think, was going to be the bug spray and nunchucks.
Oh, I forgot about him. Nope, I'm switching my vote
Okay.
to bug spray and nunchuck. I totally forgot
All right,
about
good.
that one.
I was worried. I was like,
Look, we have a three-way
we're
tie.
going to have to call Katie.
Oh, that is
That is pretty good, too.
that actually might be my number one seed.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
strong.
don't remember the other ones,
But it seems good.
but bug spray and nunchucks, and he hit himself.
In the
And
face.
give
swelled his eyes shut.
Oh,
Oh, man.
That'd be a
cannot-
mugshot to remember.
stay classy, Florida.
I can't wait to go there soon.
You should just get a condo there, and then you could go there every year.
Yeah, that's true. With frosting and nunchucks and bug spray and
Yeah.
catfish.
You could find
Imagine
all
what
these
else
guys,
you'd
get a bunch-
find all year
Steaks.
long.
What if we went down there, hear me out, and held the first annual What the Heck Florida Man Festival?
Invited all these
And
people.
invited all these people. It would be like, what's that movie? Dinner for Schmucks.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Everyone brings a special
Are
friend.
we sure that all of these people are free to come dinner?
No,
to dinner?
it's
Or-
likely some of them. At
We
least
might have
are
to wait
locked up.
3 to 5.
That's all right.
How
I
about
don't remember
maybe
that serious.
maybe we after we get our bracket put together, like our top 4 get invited to the dinner
That'd be good.
from the bracket.
We could see maybe they're on good behavior
We
and
could
they
do
get
it.
out early.
If
we
we
had to-
have to do it at the prison, we
Yeah,
can
we can do it at the pen.
we could
that's all
tailgate in the prison parking lot.
At the pin.
we'll do some. We'll tailgate with the Freebirds, and then go in and
I'm
and
digging
party
it.
with the rest.
Visitation with the ones that aren't free.
Yeah.
This is gonna be awesome. But if any of you need a good travel agent to get to our Florida Man Festival, Katie's doing it, so hit her up. What else do we have to advertise? Birthday party, Halloween party, costume
Oh,
party
yeah.
Yeah.
with sing-alongs. Kip and Debs, October 31st.
Like karaoke sing-alongs or just.
Hard to tell.
Kip and Deb's sing-alongs.
Kip and Deb's Facebook post was a
different.
little vague.
That's what I.
It
was,
just said music.
What time is all this starting?
I don't know. Late enough that I am so excited to be a homeowner during trick-or-treating that I will be home for that.
Well, I'm sending my son over. You better give out full-size candy bars.
No, I don't work for Exemplar Financial.
I don't give
Oh, he
out
doesn't
full-size
even have-
candy bars either.
Oh, so then you're just stingy.
Your brother does.
He
In
does.
Fontana, that whole neighborhood does.
Oh, really?
Well,
Well,
come
they
on, it's
should.
Fontana.
You should tell them that.
Yeah, that's true.
That
I'll go
neighborhood,
trick or
man.
treating in that neighborhood if
Yeah.
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I guess I
So
can
you're
also,
pumped about trick-or-treating,
I
huh?
can also advertise, I guess, my house for trick or treating. I'll give you some candy.
Do you have adult candy if I bring him over?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm in.
Sweet, I'll be here.
Yeah, yeah. I expect I'm gonna make you come anyway.
I'll be all
We'll-
costumed up.
Yeah, we'll be
I'm
in the
gonna be-
driveway costumed up.
Can I be in like a scary costume, sitting like in a chair in the driveway, looking like a decoration?
Yeah,
and
I
then
think so.
when
And
all
scare the crap
all the
out of
little
'em?
jerks from school come by, I can like scare the crap out of them.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking we could get a pressure washer.
All right.
I got one. I'll bring it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sweet.
Trick or treating, Kip and Debs, Katie the travel agent.
I got to give a special shout out because it's my 17th wedding anniversary in a few days.
I thought we talked about that last week. I feel like this has been coming up for months now.
It's
It has.
just building. It's just the biggest event.
17's a big
17
number.
wedded, blissful years.
Do you remember the time he said that his favorite thing about being married was that the wedding was a good day?
Was the best day, not a good day.
It was like, and that's why I'm glad that
No, that was about weddings. We were talking about how great weddings were last week. Come on.
But that's why he's glad he got
I
married.
only liked it because he had a nice day.
I didn't say I wanted another wedding day.
Oh, another advertisement. If any of you guys are having a wedding day, I would be glad to make it legal for you.
You need to print up some business cards so I can start handing them out.
I gotta have a catchy name,
Yeah.
so I'll get back.
Father Colin doesn't work very well.
To why the heck not get married? No, but somebody called me Father Fred the other day. That
Oh,
was not,
ooh.
it was not
That was pretty
horrible.
cool.
That actually
Yeah.
might be a good one. We'll play around with some ideas.
Yeah, so we'll work on that. But in the meantime, I would be glad to marry you. Like, I don't want to marry you.
He wants to
You wanna marry two
officiate
people.
the wedding.
Yeah, I'd like
Got
to
it.
facilitate you marrying someone else.
Got it. I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah.
A lot of
Katie
people-
would be upset if you started having
lot
strange
of-
women knocking on the door like, Colin offered to marry me.
A lot of people just turned off this episode.
They're like,
do not hear this part.
they're like, actually, no, we're good
I'm
here.
out. It's the last episode I'm listening to.
Oh, also, I almost forgot. My sweet beloved mother bought beer tonight.
That needs to happen at the beginning. That shout out is important.
I know, and I had it planned, and I totally forgot. So
We're sorry. I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
these guys aren't even grateful.
I am
I
super
said
grateful.
Thank you when she brought it.
She knows
I
that this
didn't
is my
even know.
favorite kind of beer, doesn't she?
Uh,
This is my all-time favorite beer that she brought.
maybe she did.
She's got my back.
No,
She likes me.
no,
I heard her say it.
no,
She said I was a good dad,
no.
doing
Those are
good
two
dad
different.
stuff.
She didn't say.
Yeah,
She didn't come out and say
You're right.
she likes.
She
you.
did not say she
She
likes
just had
me.
your back. Like
She just said
you
he's
can have the
he's
back
being
of
a good
someone who
dad.
maybe you don't like.
That's how I go through life.
Having people's back that you don't like?
Yep.
Huh. It's interesting.
And marrying people. But until I get to do your wedding. For Jake Reese and Tyler Heck, I'm the Reverend Colin Frederick. Let's get to heck to wedded bliss. Seriously, they'll call me. I'll do it.